So in here we will be discussing about the old world tropic, which is Africa. So the two continents, India and Africa, originally were part of Gondwana. Africa became united with the northern continents during the Mid-Miocene, that was 16 to 10 million years ago, and it was probably from the Africa that tropical flowering plants dispersed to the tropics of southern Asia. So when Africa joined with the Eurasia in the northern part, the regions that we see today as the Middle East, all the flowering plants, they were dispersed from that region to the regions of the southern Asia. So it is not yet possible to trace the full separate contribution of Africa, India and Southeast Asia to the final old world tropical biota. So why is this not easier? Because the fossil record of mammal is easier to interpret, but the plant record is not so much present. And if we are understand that how mammals have spread, we can understand that how the different classes of animals would have spread as well. So the Africa contains the best known and most distinctive of old world tropical mammal fauna. The molecular studies of interrelationships of different orders of placentals. So the placentals are the mammals which are the having placenta, and these are different from for example the Australian mammals, because those mammals do not have the placenta. So these suggest that the common ancestor of a group of African placentals enter the continent in the late Cretaceous. So this group is made up of elephants. So that group enters into the Africa, and that is made up of elephants, that is hyracoids, conies, aquatic sirenians, which are sea cows, elephant shrews, aardvarks, Cape golden moles, insectivorous tenrecs, and extinct embryothopods. So all of these animals, these were part of that ancient group, and they have been placed together in a superorder which is called Afrotheria, and that is endemic to the Africa. And endemic means that these organisms are only found in the Africa. So much of the continent was covered by the rainforest of the tropical, ever wet and subtropical summer wet biomes for much of the early Cenozoic. So that means this was the region with the high rainfall. There was a lot of vegetation and a lot of biodiversity as well during the until the late Miocene. About 19 million years ago in the Miocene, a firm land connection with the Eurasia took place in what is now the Middle East. So just like we have discussed earlier, that there was a connection between Eurasia and Africa, and the region that we now know as the Middle East. So the seaway was finally broken near the beginning of the late Miocene, 12 million years ago, by the rising mountain in Arabia, Turkey and the Middle East. It was this time that early horse Hipparion, which had evolved in the North America, appeared in the both Eurasia and Africa. So in this way we can see that how the different organisms, they due to the connections which are being formed between the different continents, they are moving from one continent to the next. So the elephant originated in the Africa in Eocene, migrated into Eurasia in the early Miocene, and migrated back later in the Miocene. So the ancestors of the mammoth and modern Asian elephant probably evolved in Africa 4 to 5 million years ago and migrated back into Eurasia 2 million years later. So you see that complex history of going out, coming back, going out, and then spreading to the different areas. And even the Asian elephant that we see now today, it came from the Africa into the Eurasia 2 million years later. And then there is as we have seen, that there was a region in the east of Africa that was joined with when the India was separated from the Africa, but it separated from India as well. So it is called Madagascar. It had the area of 587,000 kilometers square. Madagascar is second only to New Guinea in its size, and Madagascar reached its present position relative to Africa by 121 million years ago. It separated from India about 88 million years ago. So first it separated from Africa, which was 121 million years ago, and then from the India, and India consistently moving towards the northeast, and it became an island while India continued its journey towards Asia, that we will be discussing in the later topic. So Madagascar, it is an island, and it is island of rich biodiversity as well, and most of the species that are present in this big chunk of land are endemic to this particular area.